My name is Melanie Chavez, and I'm currently one of the employment placement managers for Year Up Puget Sound, although I like to say that I'm a nonprofit multiple hat wearer. And Year Up, we are a workforce development nonprofit whose mission really is to close the opportunity divide for young adults throughout the nation. It was like finding the technology part of what Year Up is. Of it was about embracing story and how humanizing hiring should be. Knowing my friends who work in tech industries or how certain roles may have thousands upon thousands of applicants and companies relying on technology. Technology can only process keywords, but if you're a student who doesn't know how to format their resume or who doesn't have a internal referral ticketing system to, a tech company in the world, your resume is not going to get seen. So what I really loved about the product was humanizing hiring and making storytelling like not a taboo, especially for our students. One of my students utilized WholeStory to talk about how her car broke down, and she had to learn how to drive stick shift in a week. So she self-taught herself stick shift, which I've been trying to learn since I got my license, and she learned in a week. And I said, that is relative to you being like, I'm going to give you this software, learn it with no guidance. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's true. Like I can pick up any software. So how your life experiences can relate to, I need you to learn Salesforce by next Tuesday, and here's an hour webinar on it, and I'm not going to help you. But the ability for a student to talk through what they've learned before in an interview is so important. We utilize it in the classroom space the most. I know I've integrated it as part of my learning curriculum. Usually it's in the half portion of the program, so I haven't got into it with this new students that just started about 6 weeks ago. But by midpoint, when we're talking resumes, we usually go to resumes and LinkedIn. So I talk about how resumes are utilized by companies, how LinkedIn's are giant search engines. And then we talk about the interview. So I'm like, great, you got an interview. How are you going to stand out if you have 100 other people applying for the same job who, 1, have credentials, 2, a lot more work experience than you, 3, could be older than you? Like, why would the company hire you? And that's when we bring in WholeStory to talk about those stories that stand out in an interview that they will be remembered for. Yeah, so for a lot of our alumni and who are interviewing, who are still getting interviews in this difficult time, they text me and they say, Chavez, you were right about storytelling. Like they ask, and I think the question that they say that comes the easiest is, so tell me about yourself. So when we integrate what we like the 30-second elevator pitch plus WholeStory, and they're able to answer the tell me about yourself without getting stuck or feeling nervous, and then moving on to more of the questions that are about like a technology or a certain skill set. If they don't have the answer, so if they've never used something, they can go to one of their WholeStory stories. It's kind of like, picking like a game piece. They're like, wait, I don't have that game piece, but I have this other one. So if they get stuck on a question regarding some type of application that they have no experience in, they immediately can answer that without saying like, well, I've never used that product, or I don't have experience in it. So they avoid that and they can go straight to one of their WholeStory stories. There's so much power in story and communicating and connecting. And I really think that more companies should see the human in people. And, I have a lot of recruiter friends, and it's just how can we work together as like the software products, as the workforce development educators and the companies to humanize hiring.